All right, guys, welcome back to the World Championship Series European Premier League Season 2, as we now have our winner on the line. Moving on to the round of 16 is Hwabs. How are you doing, man?
Yoo-hoo! Great, man. Like I'm really happy about the win. And yeah, it feels great. After the curse in last season, where I dropped out right away, and basically all the mouse players dropped out very early on. Now we both made it, Mana and me, so yeah, it just feels great. I'm so happy about it. Did
you expect to take the win off Demaga in that last series, and can you talk us through the series?
First of all, I was expecting that I had a good chance against Deishi this time. I lost him in the Challenger League, but I learned a lot in those games. And today it was working pretty well, I think. I did some small mistakes, but overall he made a bit more, so I won 2-0. And against Demaga, I thought it's going to be really tough. And I saw the games of Demaga against Tails, or no, wait, Finale.
Yeah.
And basically what happened, that Finale tried to all-in him twice, and it just doesn't really work against the style which Demaga is using, like Mass Queens and early on upgrades on the Zerglings. So I decided to just go for a macro game, the way I really like it, with a lot of cannons and getting a huge army. And yeah, it worked out. And the third map, you were asking about it, I actually had the feeling that it's going to be Mutas. I was expecting him to make Mutas already on the first or second map. So on the third map, I had this feeling, and that's why I was adding more Stargates and the Fleet Beacon. And luckily for me, it was just in time. And yeah, he didn't get the Muta count to kill on my Nexus, so yeah.
What was talking about your preparation for this tournament? I know you've been in esports and competition for a long time now.
Skype hat sich gerade aufgehangen.
Are you still hear us?
Ah, jetzt.
Oh.
Yeah, now I can hear you again.
Okay. I was just saying, you've been in competition and in esports for a very long time now. You know, what was your preparation coming into WCS Europe? You knew who you were going to play against. Did you specifically practice for the group?
Yes, I did. I practiced a few custom games, obviously, and a lot of ladder on a Smurf account. But the main preparation actually was watching replays. I watched a lot of replays of Deishi. So I had a very good feeling of what he's going to play and how I'm going to counter him. And Demaga, I knew his style as well. And in the past, I always, it was like 50-50 against Demaga. I knew it's going to be very hard, but I just decided to not go, not an all-in on any map, because he seems to be very strong against any kind of timing attacks. So I just decided to go for a macro game, and I feel very comfortable in those. So yeah, I was pretty happy that the games played out like this.
Would you say your strength is preparation, or one of your strengths, should I say?
Yeah, I think so. Usually I have better results when I have time to prepare for my opponents, instead of just like a huge bracket where you have to play several best-of-3s in a row. So yeah, I think it's better for me when I have time to prepare for my opponents.
One last question from me is that now you are actually the only German representative that is going to be in the round of 16 here in Cologne. Well, unfortunately, with TLO actually dropping out yesterday. So do you have anything specifically to say to your fans that have been cheering you on?
Well, I'm very happy for the support, and I'm really looking forward to play offline in the ESL studios in front of the German crowd. So. Yeah, I hope I get a playable group where I'm not getting raped or something. But yeah, I think everything is possible, and if I have time to prepare, I hope I can show some good games. And yeah, that's it, I think.
All right, last question from me here. Do you have any? I know you're kind of a realistic person. Do you have any realistic expectations for how you can do in this season?
I think top 8 might be realistic if I don't get like MVP, and I don't even know who's through right now. But it could be a very hard group, I guess.
Yeah.
So it really depends on the drawing of the groups first of all, and but I think top 8 is possible for me, but it's going to be very tough.
Would you be happy with an all PvP group?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, lately I've been struggling in PvP. The last 2 EPS Cups I lost to some German Protosses, so I don't know.
Oh, did you? I didn't see the results of the last one. Did you lose to Soke in the end, or?
No, I lost to Akro.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't look at the full bracket.
But before that, I beat Naniwa and Bling in the WCS,
Yeah.
so I don't know. I thought my PvP is very good, but lately, like the last 2 weeks, I've been struggling there. But I still wouldn't be too angry about an all PvP group.
All right. Any more questions? No?
I'm done on this end.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Hwabs, and congratulations. We'll see you at the round of 16.
All right, thanks.
Congratulations.
Yep, have
Bye.
fun casting. Bye-bye.
Thank
Cheers.
you. Bye-bye. All right.
Mr.
Round
Hasu.
of 8 potentially there from Hwabs. It's a pretty decent expectation considering he said that he didn't really know who would advance through. Let me just remind you, if you're still watching, Dennis, and remind you guys at home, MVP Tefel, Stefano MC, and then yesterday we had MMA and Mana. And now Hwabs joined us, so our 7th player to make it through. And we're about to find out the 8th one in a couple of moments.
Yeah, we have 2 more series to unfold, as we shall be having first. It's going to be Dayshi against DuckDuck. And Dayshi, well, let's start with DuckDuck first. He, in the start of today, has brought out all sorts of shenaniganry. And it could be a little bit difficult to break Dayshi.
Yeah.
It's not prepared.
The thing is, DuckDuck and Tails, both teammates from Team MVP, trying to join and compete here. Well, they are competing in the Premier League, but more importantly, get to Cologne, have really kind of entered with a very aggressive mindset. And that's a little bit, The aggressive mindset is not working. Not working at this point. And then, of course, Deishi, I think anything's possible from this guy.
Yeah, certainly is, as we have spawning up the top left-hand corner here as our blue Protoss. He is MVP DuckDuck. And spawning down to the bottom right-hand corner as our red Terran from France. He is Millennium's Deishi.
All right, let's find out how this series is going to unfold, because I don't know. It's 2 aggressive players going against each other. Neither of them, I suppose, kind of know how each other's going to play, I think. So that's going to be a crazy one.
And, I mean, at the same time, guys, go over to Twitter, hashtag WCS, tell us your predictions. Who do you think is going to take this? Is it going to be Deishi? Is it going to be DuckDuck? Deishi's looked pretty good in past performances online, but DuckDuck certainly bringing out them shenanigans. So, very, very important to note.
Yeah, that's right. I don't really know how to predict how this series will go. I thought that Damog would win the previous one. I thought Deishi would win the previous one before that. I'm doing really bad today. Before that, I've been okay. I haven't been terrible. But I think that we'll probably see the same build from Deishi. If he's practiced to play against Protoss, then he'll use the same build that he used against Hwabs in a hope that it works. And that in this game, he doesn't get countered so hard like we saw Hwabs pull off with that 5-gateway assault while defending with cannons back at home, and we do see that 15 gas. So it is identical to how he tried to at least play against Hwabs earlier.
A side thought as well here, Apollo, is that in every single one of these series, we've seen Belshir Vestige as the first map. It seems that a lot of players nowadays are becoming super, super comfortable with this map and really, really preferring it to really start off a series. What's your opinion on that?
I think out of the map pool that there is, this map and probably this map, actually, without
Just
thinking
this map.
through all of them, it's probably the most, this map, I'd say, yeah. This map is the most all-round balanced map.
Yeah, yeah.
Out of all of them, which is why we're seeing, you know, the first player, whoever picks this, choose this map. Saying, let's start off on equal footing and then deviate depending on how the rest of the series goes on.
And with that now, Deishi's going to go for a little bit of a scout, having a look up into his opponent's base. Probably going to be looking to see how many pylons there are here. He will see 3 pylons in the end. So he's comfortable right now. Comfortable.
Yeah, he sees 3 pylons, but he does see a pretty high gas count. So he knows that nothing's proxy, but there easily could be a tech structure that comes down in the main base shortly. Doesn't necessarily have to be. Can very easily, once the Nexus is down, just be a sentry. Or it could be a Stalker and then a faster robotics facility. So the options are out there for DuckDuck to choose from. It even could be nothing at all, and just if now a Twilight Council coming down for, you know, Tails' build or something along those lines. But for a Stalker coming down and Warpgate Research, we're probably just going to see the robotics facility come down next.
And I'm very happy to see that DuckDuck actually opened up with the Zealot first, because the timing at which Deishi sent that that SCV out, he could have thrown down an engineering bay, and that would have been an annoyance to actually clean up at that natural. But there's that Twilight Council going down. Wow.
Wow, with the Twilight Council coming down, it is going to be DT play here.
Yeah.
It's way, way too early to be a Blink play at this stage. So Dark Templar coming out.
Didn't Deishi throw down a missile turret at the front of his base in the previous against Hasu?
Maybe not on this map, maybe on a different map, but that was a lot different of a circumstance. That was a whirlwind and a little bit different here. But with the way that he's set up there, by the time that the the Dark Templar or the Dark Shrine, should I say, is almost complete, if that's what he's going to go for here, which is the most likely thing. Okay, Blink coming down and being chrono boosted out. With a Forge coming in. Okay, so I was going to say something different. With this going down, he's going to have to slap down a lot of gateways.
I've seen once or twice. No, that was against Zerg.
Very surprising to see this come in.
Yeah, and look at this timing out by Deishi. It's exactly identical to what we saw against Hasu.
Yeah, he's playing out the very same thing. Blink play is going to be very good against an aggressive Terran player, sure, right? Even with a couple of Stalkers, if you can Blink to pick off a Medivac,
oh yeah,
that's gonna help him. Okay, it depends if he kind of lets the floodgates open and goes aggressive with it afterwards.
I'm securing the watchtower here as Deishi moving on forwards once again. The difference here between this game and last for Deishi against Hwabs is the fact that those Stalkers were not out in the middle of the map, and they were not able to kind of deny this from fully breaching this natural location. As that Widowmine is just going to waddle on
Widowmine into the mineral line. Is there a cannon on that natural? I saw a cannon being built, but I don't know where it is. It's in the main base. Oh, you are not mining there for a while, Sunshine. No robotics facility, no way to detect.
Yeah. Even if he wanted to throw down a cannon there, he'd have to throw down a pylon first. So it's going to take ages for him to really clean that up.
Disastrous start. 15 supply behind. An additional gateway come in. Stalkers moving across the map. A pylon being thrown down as well.
Is this 3 gates? I've seen this before, but it was against Zerg. It's a 3-gate Blink assault. I don't know why or how this is coming into fashion just a little bit, but I've seen it before, and I think it actually was from DuckDuck.
Another Widowmine in a good location is going to detonate on these Stalkers. He can turn around and take a fight as well with the Marines upon killing one. And he is going to... Oh. All right. DuckDuck today is just not playing well.
No, he's...
I mean, at this point, I'm not even sure if Daishi's realized, but he can easily pull SCVs to help out with this. He's got a Marauder on the way, Stim. He can even pull back to his main base. It's not a problem here if he does pull back.
The evacuation begins. Another pylon goes down for DuckDuck as well. No more probes are being produced once again for him, so he is just going straight for the engagement. There is actually a little bit of aggression in his main base as well, up in the mineral line there, as these Hellbats do actually try and push this away. The Hellbat drop has done a little bit of damage here as well.
Yeah, so there's reinforcement coming in. Let's see how well this Blink's going to be. It's, the Hellbats are going to do so much damage here. The micro has to be good, but he's already down to 28 supply versus 61.
SCVs come off the line and try and just push all of this back. Good Blink control from DuckDuck, saving quite a few of those units, but the Hellbats, once again, are holding Deishi strong here. The only problem for Deishi is he doesn't actually have anything to kill off the Mothership Core.
Yeah, but he's got 2 Marauders, and he's going to have a Viking very shortly.
Yeah, and that should help out considerably, along with even more Widowmines coming out as well. DuckDuck has to break or do even more damage here to his opponent.
Nice
Picks up, tries to drop along all of those Stalkers. And those Stalkers aren't going to be alive for too much longer. Not
at all here. The Mothership Core's been a pain, and it finally does fall down with the Viking coming out. The supply, still 25 supply in the lead. +1 attack and Stim, and more Marauders are on the way.
And this Hellbat still doing a little bit of damage, a little bit of tickle damage in the main.
2 Widowmines in perfect position there with no detection. It's almost impossible to do anything against that.
He can't get up there. Oh, nice Blink there, though, by DuckDuck.
Yeah.
Does cause him a little bit of hassle to go around once again.
Oh, another Stalker gets picked off. That Widowmine must have a good couple of kills now.
Yeah.
3 Stalker kills, pretty much. And that's good cost efficiency.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And he's just running out of steam. He's lost a lot of probes. He's trying to rebuild them. And with Stim, Medivac's out as well. And Marauders now. Marauders and Hellbats, there is no way that Stalkers are doing anything here.
Especially with the lack of actual income he has. If we just quickly check the income there of DuckDuck, it's not good right now for him, unfortunately.
No, it's a bit of a lackluster first game here from DuckDuck, who is now going to get crushed. It's that simple. Marauders are going to chase him down, or at least push him all the way home. The Medivac can boost on top. Even though we see Dayshi, just a little bit in lead with workers, he has a second command center. He has the tech. What are we going to see? You know, charge come in? Panic Dark Shrine?
And that's going to be it. It's going to be that Panic Dark Shrine. I mean, he has to try and make something happen. He's trying to mine from his natural out of the way of this Widow Mine. He knows it's still there. So trying to get something going off 3 patches in that natural that's a tough situation to be in here for Mr. DuckDuck.
And it's very simple. As Deishi, you say to yourself, all right, the Twilight Council researches Blink. The follow-ups from this, if you're on low economy, because I know you are they're either Zealot Charge and try to play with that, but why would you do that when I already have Hellbats?
Yeah.
The only real option is Dark Templar, so I wouldn't be surprised to see the command centers back at home pooling energy for this attack. And they're probably saving energy, ready to move out, a couple of scans, finish the game.
Yeah, they do.
He has no energy on the main one, and he has no energy... Okay, from here on out.
From here. From this point. He's got the missile turret at the front, so that should be able to keep him sturdy. But again, you're right. He needs the detection at the front, and it's only going to come via those scans. As some of the medevacs actually loaded up as well. So can quite easily drop those on this gateway force. That's pretty much all he has to push back these Marauders. Even the Vikings landed here, along with extra Hellbats that come along to seal the deal at this natural. 82 supply to 32. Dark Templars, they're there, but GG. Not going to happen today. As Dayshi says, it's his day. That was the worst ever.
Yeah, that was, you know, DuckDuck and Tails, very similar in their aggressive mindset here, are just not pulling off the wins necessary to make it to the round of 16, unfortunately. Deishi slaps him down, and so far, in combination of both players, game back to back to back, aggressive, 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 and then combine that with fail, fail, fail. And it's repeating itself again today. If we don't see, you know, DuckDuck now change it up, I could very easily just see a very swift 2-0 in favor of Deishi, and it would be Demago and Deishi to finish up the day. Something needs to change here. Otherwise, DuckDuck, you know, when you're a Korean player, Colaris, and you make the switch to the Europe scene, you aren't making it to get to the round of 32.
No.
You're actually making it to win it.
Yeah.
And if you can't get past the round of 32, there's something missing.
You're here to take the money. You're here to take that money back to Korea. But it's not happening right now for DuckDuck. And these MVP players, they're not making it happen right now. The foreigners are giving them a run for the money. Europe is not easily conquerable.
Not for these two players, for sure. I mean,
No.
MC and MVP are making it look easy.
Yeah.
So we'll see how this does work out for this next chance. He's got one more game. But, well, he's got 2 more games, I guess. He's got 1 more game unless he's out. But if he wins it, he's got 1 more to prove his worth and then go into the final series. So we need to see DuckDuck, the youngest player in the WCS Europe League, show something to just interest us in him. So far, I mean, even as an individual, and I remember him playing for MVP back in the day, you know, helping that 2011 team win the GSTL in Korea. I remember seeing his improvement. He was such a good little player. But now, looking at these games, he's not bringing the performance. And that's super necessary to get to the round of 16,
Definitely.
unfortunately.
Game number 2 will be on Red City here, as this is actually one of the first times we've seen it in the round of 32 thus
Yeah,
far.
I don't think I've casted a game on this yet.
Yeah.
Or maybe once. Maybe once.
I think so. We saw a hidden base by someone. Who was it?
I can't remember.
It was Shuttle. He hid bases.
Oh, Shuttle.
You cheeky man. But anyway, spawning down to the bottom left-hand corner, currently 1 game up, on the verge of advancing to play for that round of 16 spot. He is Millennium's Dayshi.
Viva la France!
And spawning up at the top left-hand corner as our blue Protoss from Korea. He is MVP DuckDuck.
All right.
Not Rocket Demago.
Well, we know the simple answer to the day 9 question. Duck or a goose?
Apparently, the Ducks aren't winning too well. They're not doing all right.
Yeah. I chose to be a duck, I think.
Did you?
I think I did. I can't remember. It's funny that, because you think I'd know my answer.
You know,
But I don't.
I think ducks are more majestic. Goose is kind of lumbering, I feel. Don't you think?
Yeah.
Not too majestic in these games, though, unfortunately.
I would like the simple life of a duck.
Yeah, it would be quite good. You just kind of fly, swim, and eat bread from old people. That's basically your entire life.
That is your entire life. A very simplistic life that is. On this map, Deishi, I wouldn't have been surprised to see a command center first. But, I mean, all right, so Command Center first would have been a bit wacky against a player that's super aggressive here. We'll see if he even decides to take a gas. It could be just one back to Command Center. Red City is the biggest map. I think it's... No, actually, it's the same size as Whirlwind. Exactly, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I'll look into that, but I'm pretty sure it's the same size. So, at least equal biggest map here.
For these guys, they didn't meet each other. It's funny how things played out with this group, because both Dayshi and DuckDuck met Hwabs in Challenger League in Season 1. Neither of them met one another. There was certainly the potential for them to meet one another, but Hwabs certainly squashed that. As for now, Dayshi, he's one up here against the Korean. And DuckDuck, he has to pull something out. It's almost as if these Koreans don't want to go into macro games against these foreigners.
He's pulling... Right now, energy on the Nexus. He has not taken a second gas.
Aha.
No, Deishi sees this.
Yeah.
He sees it and is like, are you just going to be silly and just like 3 or 4 gate me here?
Is that really how it's going to be?
I mean, right now, the probe is moving down to the south side.
To the south
and it
side.
very easily can just build a pylon, but it didn't build a pylon. And we would have liked to see... he can still go 3 gateway. He's contributing into the gateway and 7-8. Could be mind games too, just for 1 gate expand a little bit faster. But Deishi's thinking all about these things right now.
I think his attempt was to try and drop a pylon on that high ground before he even scouted that out, but the Marines were positioned in such a way as to push that back.
You've got to be kidding me.
He's doing it. Well...
I think I just sighed alongside 25 other thousand people.
Yeah, you think?
Because what is he doing? He's
trying to make it work.
Why is he? Okay.
Why is?
I'll throw my excitement as a StarCraft fan out the window because I would have liked to see in a normal game, but he's just 4-gating. It's a simple little tactic to win the game early. Deishi has seen the possibility of this.
He has to know.
He must just click and be like, all right. Are you just going to do this? Is that seriously how this is going to go down?
Especially since he may have seen the movement of that probe as well that was moving around. Because, again, that probe, it was rallied up to that high ground. We saw it on the observer screen.
So a bunker and a widow mine should be the next things coming out on the natural.
Yeah.
He is, waiting a little bit long. He's still got 20 seconds before warp gate research is done. But a bunker should come down and widow mine and marine. A widow mine and marine, stop this. 2 marines at a time? You don't even need to build a starport here. You just build a bunker after the command center finishes. If he doesn't build a bunker, then I'm just going to get sad. I'll get really sad if he doesn't build a bunker.
Yeah, he's just going for the armory right now, and he's playing out as if he's doing a normal build.
He doesn't believe it. He's like, you seriously wouldn't 4-gate me. I don't believe you.
But this is happening.
I would have built a bunker. I'll tell you that, Claris. At least he has one widow mine.
I would have built a bunker as well. My Terran's terrible. But anyway, now bringing these Marines down to the low ground, that's a lot of Stalkers. You can't compete with that.
He's going to die. Oh, my God. He's going to die to a 4-gate.
Oh, my God. Well, DuckDuck, he's, for all his givens, he's executing it well.
You're a genius. I should have believed in you from the start. Why didn't the bunker come down? The widow mine was not ready. He didn't believe a 4-gate would happen. I'm pretty sure he's like, all right, he's just going to expand. And now this can't be won from. The pylon's inside the main base. I'll eat another hat if he wins from this.
Yeah, there's all the Stalkers killing off SCV after SCV after SCV. There's not that many Marines left. Some more Widow Mines try and pile out and try and burrow, but that's going to get killed off before it even gets down. DuckDuck is able to bring so much pressure and even warp on the high ground. GG. Game number 2 goes to DuckDuck. And that does it.
These 2 Korean players, these 2 Korean Protoss players, are not giving us the best games. I mean, granted, if Deishi had just said, all right, very simple, a 4-gate could happen, a bunker's down, he's out of Premier League. It's that simple.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, I'm so surprised by these games. I'm so surprised. It's just like, they're like, all right, whatever. I made it to Premier League, my job is done.
And then...
Whatever. It's so... I can't really get my mind around it. The thought process of these games, back to back to back to back, every time, a cheese.
And now going into game number 3, are we going to see another one? Proxy Stargate. Proxy Stargate, Apollo. Is it going to happen?
I don't know, Claris. I'm actually
It's Whirlwind.
I don't know, mate.
It's Whirlwind.
I don't know. I actually don't even know what to say about this series anymore. the way that DuckDuck's playing it, I mean, it sounds really negative, but it's such a negative series. I don't really know what to say. Whatever the case, he's drawn up now, and he now has a chance to be able to beat out Deishi. Deishi, needs to just be like, all right, Okay, whatever. 4-gate. Psst. You know, sometimes I do lose to a 4-gate. I don't know what he says to himself there. But we're going on to that. It is whirlwind. And it's so funny that DuckDuck's like, GG, good luck. Go.
Yeah.
It's like it's a normal game. So funny. This series is great.
Oh, wow. Well, Deishi, will he be able to defeat the torrent of aggression that is probably going to be coming? Or will DuckDuck be victorious?
If he wins this series, I'm going to be... And imagine that. He wins the series, and Tamaga's there like this. Oh, baby. Let's play again. Man. He'd be so happy to play again.
That gif of him going, yes. That's going to be playing right after this.
That wouldn't be after he wins. It would be before they play. All right, the next map is loaded, guys. Let's find out how this series is going to end. One way or another, is it the Frenchman, or is it going to be the Korean?
It's going to be a proxy Stargate. We shall see as we have sporting down to the bottom right-hand corner as our blue Protoss. He is MVP DuckDuck. And sporting up to the top left-hand corner as our red Terran, we have Millennium's Dayshi. You enjoying yourself, Apollo?
How happy would you be if you saw a proxy Stargate?
I think he's going to... No, wait. I think he's going to do it.
You do?
Yeah, I really do. I mean, like, what? Either that or a Stargate in base, man. It's well, I mean, all right. So if you were to put it on a ratio scale, like 7 to 3, 6 to 4, how how high would you give Stargate if proxy Stargate? But then again, I mean, I'm now doubting myself because the way in which Daishi's been opening, he's got a lot of Marines out pretty fast. So he could actually deal with that pretty easily. And if DuckDuck's seen that, then I think he'd be a little bit better off. What do you think?
Whirlwind's a big map, so it's either going to be proxied or it's not going to be at all.
Yeah.
It's kind of simple, right?
Yeah.
It's not like he can, try and Stargate inside his main base or try Robo inside his main base. It's either going to be proxied or it's just not going to be at all.
Command center first here from Mr. Deishi.
If he lost to another 4-gate...
Calling his opponent's bluff.
Imagine that. It's not going to be a 4-gate because the way that it's playing out, second gas should come down with the gateway timing. But if he was to lose to a 4-gate, I think that is the definition of full foreigner.
That's pretty full foreigner.
I'd leave this castle. If he lost to a 4-gate, you're solo casting the next series against Tamaga.
No, but that's cheating though because he has the 2 gas now.
Yeah, he's not gonna. Don't worry. But the viable options, it depends on how many he has in gas now. He's only got a couple in gas at this point, so it does look like it. Unless he grabs all 3 straight away here, it is more of a normal opening.
Yeah.
With just having 2 in gas instead of 3, you're able to get the Nexus down a bit faster. In the war of builds, Deishi has a much, much stronger build than his opponent.
Yeah, definitely. If he's able to get that command center, well, he has got that command center up and running along with the barracks to just keep himself well fortified here. He should be fine. As for now, that third pylon, well, it's going to go down in the main. I mean, he doesn't have any probes on the map. He hasn't even scouted, so it's just generally that Nexus build for him. And is this DuckDuck's plan? Does he just go? He's like, the first 2 games, I'm just going to cheese. And then he just completely flips the switch, and he's like, it's time macro, guys. Game number 3. That's as long as I can get to game number 3, I can macro for a little bit.
We'll see. We'll see if that's going to be a case. I mean, let's say there could be a Twilight Cancer coming down soon.
Yes, there
for
could be.
a DT play or something along those lines to test his opponent's timings rather than trying to play straight up. But Deishi, if I was going up against teammates, DuckDuck and Tails, the #1 rule in my strategy would be make sure that all my defensive timings are down. For example, spot for the pylon that could be around my base at the 6 to 7 minute mark. Yep. Make sure the engineering bay is down fast for a turret down on my natural and whatnot.
Ooh. And he throws down 2 extra gateways here.
So without tech coming down at this point, the usual play from DuckDuck is to get a tech. And he doesn't spot it. Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Whoa,
and then more gateways coming down. So he is going to go for a 4-5 gateway attack. So the timing to think about here for Deishi is the 6 to 7 minute mark I just said. Is there a pylon at the high ground outside of my bases? So come down and scout left, come down, scout right. That should be something he would be doing with a single Marine. A bunker should absolutely be coming down.
Definitely he has to take precautions here. He sees the probe coming in. Now, that might be a little bit of a signal for him to say, well, you know, why was that probe around? Technically, he did scout down to the bottom left and then went up eventually, but it was a little bit later as it was throwing down that pylon. So he's getting double reactor here. And the mothership core is now on the way out with a sentry. A sentry moving across the map. If he saw that...
Oh my god. Okay, so I don't understand why Deishi's like got a third command center down, why he hasn't got a bunker. It really doesn't... Coach Apollo at Millennium. He sees a sentry, and why the hell is there a sentry there? Great picking it off. Now go home and build 2-3 bunkers. Because that is just a clear sign that this aggression's coming.
Oh yeah, there you go. There's
His
those
Marines are split in half.
Oh, and he loses quite a few of them to the Stalkers as well. That's catastrophic there for Deishi. He needs to retain these bio units because 4 gateways worth of aggression is not going to be quelled so easily. This could happen. Apollo, this could happen.
The bunkers are going to fall, Kalaris. It's going to be stimless Marines
Apollo,
and SCVs.
You know how there's 4 gates down?
Yeah, I know there's 4 gateways down.
I'm trolling.
And, you know, the Stalkers are going to break their way through. The defense was not here again. Time warp comes down, and these Marines, they have 1 minute and 10 seconds to wait until stim is done. That's how long they got to wait. And more Stalkers are going to come in.
Well, he's going to lose a lot of this.
2 bunkers do complete.
What?
So that helps. That helps.
Yeah, definitely. But DuckDuck's taking the advantage from this point on. He's got his natural up and running. He's producing probes behind this.
Yeah, he's chronobussing into the Nexus. He's taken the advantage and he won't overextend here.
Yeah.
So if he only knew about the 3rd command center, I'd warp in a couple of sentries and just keep him locked inside the base.
Yeah.
Because actually, he should scout with a mothership core. Like, okay, great, perfect. Now you see the command center, and I'm like, wait a minute. That's early, man. That's early.
Wait a minute. Where did the 3rd command center go?
Didn't he kill it?
Oh, did he kill it?
Yeah.
All right, sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
So at this point, all you do is warp in 2 sentries like he's done and say, well, if that's the 3rd command center down and the factories, then I'm just going to keep force-fielding you for ages. I wouldn't attack the bunker, though. That's a little bit dangerous, but I keep the threat there of attacking it to keep the SCVs there.
Yeah.
And then just force-field behind it. The Twilight Council come down at home, I think, and a Dark Shrine's a follow-up. So this is kind of nice. I like this play. And he's just kind of taking advantage and pushing it into the right direction.
Yeah, Deishi is in a lot of trouble here. He really is. If DuckDuck is just deviating up his aggression once again, if he can actually just walk up with a lone Dark Templar for whatever reason, whilst there's no missile turret down there or anything like that.
There's no engineering bay. There's limited resources from Deishi to mess around with here. Deishi's facing Challenger League. Like, it's that simple.
Yeah.
He's facing Challenger League, and this is disastrous. DuckDuck just went in with the Mothership Core again to scout the Stargate timing, and he's like, all right, it's just now finishing up. That gives me roughly 60 seconds before the Medivacs are out, so I can either just, you know, get ready to recall home, or leave a single sentry and walk the rest back and not use the recall and use it for a photon overcharge if he does come. But to be honest, I'd stay. The Dark Shrine's finishing up. Put Dark Templar up there as well.
Marines poke down, see exactly what's going on. I mean, along with the factory, he has full vision of what his opponent has outside this map. It's not only the force field potentials, even the time warp is just such a pain here for Deishi to deal with. Supply counts are even, but now the Dark Shrine finishing up, he walks 1 Dark Templar in there, and that causes him even more world to
There's no
hurt.
energy. There's no energy, and there's no engineering bay. The load up is complete now. He has to be very careful. Where's he going? Okay, he's coming around. Okay, Deishi's going to come around and try to, you know, surround this army. But there's 3 DTs.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, as he moves out,
He
DuckDuck
moves
moves in.
Yeah, those force fields go down as well, pinning a lot of that bio up against the Dark Templar more than anything, instantly one-shotting some of these Marines as they don't have combat shields and sealing some of them out as well. DuckDuck is on the verge of eliminating Deishi here in Group D, a player that has been on the rise in the foreign scene, in the European scene for a long time, is being killed off by sheer aggressive ingenuity here from DuckDuck.
Yeah, this scan goes down. There's too many DTs. There's too many Stalkers here. And the reinforcements come in. And remember, the economy is 45 probes off 2 bases behind this. He just warps in again. 3 DTs. What are you going to do? You have no energy. Okay, he's got 1 scan, but this time he kind of spreads his DTs rather than just throws him into 1 scan. 67 supply to 23.
And hardly any units left.
Challenger League is calling for the Frenchman.
Deishi completely on the ropes, completely down and out. How can he even come back from something as severe as this? DuckDuck has made it so far with this aggression. Deishi's trying to hold on as best he can, But now DuckDuck, with the lead he has with charge going down, warps in a few zealots, along with annoyance of time warp if it was there as well. He's going to have such a great army.
Yeah, and 2 DTs make their way up now. There's no scan yet. There will be soon, but that's mules that aren't working. So these 9 SCVs are actually his income, as he can never, ever afford to, you know, just land mules at this point. He's sending his DTs one at a time. He's like, all right, I guess I could just pick the units off. And, you know, with one swipe from a DT, GG DuckDuck moves on to play against Damage.
Wouldn't have expected it, would not have expected it here, but DuckDuck, he stuck to his aggression, he stuck to his guns, and those guns eventually paid off for him.
Yeah, and he moves on, and now Damaga's like, all right, I'm going to challenge you, and we're going to fight, and I'm going to take my round 16 spot, which Damaga is absolutely aiming for here.
Yeah.
And, you know, we saw how incredibly one-sided that series was when we saw it as the first game of the day. What happens now?
DuckDuck has got to make a change if he's going to try and defeat Damaga, or he has to be the trickiest Protoss alive.
Yeah, it's really funny, isn't it? He's got a lot of work cut out for him now.
Yo, yeah, so much. Just looking back, there's a ton that he has to do here. So guys, come back after the break when we shall have our final series of the night. Who is advancing onto the round of 16? Is it DuckDuck or is it Damaga? We'll find out.